So shall we start? Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Mr. Tahir and Miss Nadia, hi there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning and good afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's morning for us and afternoon for you. So, good afternoon. Good morning.
Yeah, I guess Dr.
बंद कर दें अभी मेरे को नहीं है.
And I guess we have a new researcher from COSPI, Miss Chon Sol-ling. Miss Chon, could you introduce yourself?
여보세요?
네, 안 박사님.
메일 확인했는데요. 아니요, 제가 지금 회의 중이라서 좀 이따가 전화 드릴게요. 네.
Hi, my name is Sol-ling Chun, and I'm the new researcher for the COSPI. Yes, and I will. Nice to meet you.
So today's agenda will be as informed. Firstly, the discussion on a follow-up ODA plan for the Green Card Center. And second,
Ms. Jivan, I'm sorry, but we can't hear you clearly.
my voice was very small.
Yes.
Could you hear me right now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so let me start over again. So today's meeting agenda will be as noted at WhatsApp. Firstly, the discussion on a follow-up ODA plan for establishing a Pakistan's Green Card Center. And I hope you have read Ms. Jan Kim's email on the 5th March. And secondly, well, I was thinking of sharing the feedback of the field study progress report from the local consultants. However, given the fact that the local consultants have submitted their reports today morning, KSP team had not much time to review all the details. However, we would like to give some of the questions, if that's possible.
Please, we go ahead. Even for us, we have just briefly scanned through the document.
Yes.
And ideally, because it was submitted a little late, ideally what we would want to have was to have a look at it first and then submit this report to you. But however, I think because it was a little late, so we can jointly have our comments and then we can incorporate those in the draft, the next draft for your consideration.
Yeah. Regarding the field study report, let us have a little more time to review the document and let us discuss like the later on, if that's okay.
Yes, that's fine because we haven't had a chance to go through it ourselves. We just very briefly scanned through it. So naturally, we would like to have a look at it and we might have some comments ourselves as well. So that's what Mr. Tahir was also saying, that we should perhaps revert to this a little later.
Yes, that is very fine. So then today's meeting will be, I guess, very short with the agenda discussion on a follow-up ODA plan for Pakistan's Green Card Center. And did you read the email from Ms. Jan Kim?
We did. We did. And in terms of, there was a little, with in-house, in our office, there was a comment that we probably need to run this by through our ministry also. So it has took us one more day to get it signed. We have shared this, the concept note with our ministry, so they are on board, just to be on the safe side. We are now in a position to evening because CEO is out of office, and once he comes back, we will either send it today evening or email it to you by tomorrow morning. The draft letter that you had sent, the draft was perfectly fine with us. We will be sharing that exact draft with you as soon as possible. One other thing is that the draft that you shared with us is you mentioned that it needs to be sent to the chief of HRI. Can you also please within the WhatsApp group convey his name so that we send the letter by name and designation?
Okay. We'll send you the exact name of the CEO of Cancer Research Institute by the WhatsApp. Okay. First of all, thank you so much for your quick response and cooperation. And as noted on the email, we'd really appreciate your official letter because that is essential for us to propose the project. Actually, Cancer Research Institute is working very hard on writing the proposals for the follow-up project. So thank you so much. And I guess that's all for today. if you have any questions, yeah, please feel free to tell us.
Okay, so now I think we will wait for your comments for the draft field report. And from the first look and the brief overview, I think most of the things have been covered. However, in terms of the inputs for COSPI, because that's a kind of a tricky part, automotive is kind of clearly straightforward. But because we had to go into subsector analysis for the other sectors like surgical and others, which are being taken care by COSPI. So if there's anything that you think needs more clarification or elaboration, please let us know, and then we can have that also built in. At the same time, if you think that there is not sufficient primary data in terms of the informant interviews or the focus group, please let us know also, and then we can also try to manage as much as possible in this time frame to get more data. But from our end, generally the report that was submitted by the consultant seems fine. We will be reviewing it and then giving our comments on it as well.
Okay, I'm writing down some comments on your paper, and I will try to send you by email by tomorrow. Okay, I have two more questions. Is it possible to share SME policy to 2020 now?
Yes, we will. We'll share it with you. Although it is not finalized, it's not approved. However, for internal consumption, we will be sharing with you. The cabinet has yet to approve the new policy.
Okay. Another question is, I read an article to find that there's no official definition on SME or standardized firm size of SME. So, is it correct?
Well, actually, there are several definitions of SMEs in the country.
Yes.
So when it comes to the financing sector, the State Bank of Pakistan, which is the central bank of the country, has its definition.
Yes.
And then the government had approved a definition in 2007 for the SME sector that was part of the SME policy 2007. Very recently, we have come to an agreement with the State Bank in terms of defining the SME sector that we are hoping that all other institutional stakeholders will also adopt. So that definition, I believe, will be part of the document that Mr. Tahir will be sharing with you. That will address your question. There are definitions because the way that the government itself is structured and the way the institutions work in terms of targeting of support. So there are multiple definitions depending upon the client group that the institution is looking at. But through the SME policy, what we're trying to do is at the federal government level, come up with a definition which we have now agreed upon to be implemented across the country.
Oh, okay. I see. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd like.
Right. So, Ms. Yvonne, thank you very much. I think if there's nothing else, then we can now start working on inputs for the feasibility research report.
Yeah. Regarding the paper submitted by the local consultants, I would like to toss the mic to the floor to everyone. Has anyone has any questions from the report? 소유연구원님 뭐 질문 있나요?
Actually, I have a few questions about the draft from local consultant. However, local consultant is not in our meeting today, so I don't know whether it is good to share my thoughts to Sumera. How do you think?
Are all the questions, and
that's fine. You can, yeah, it's up to you. I mean, if you want to raise your comments or questions right now, that's fine. Or when we have the consultant on board, or maybe, I mean, since all of us will be going through the document ourselves, we can, in track changes mode, add a comment, and then, sort of list down those questions that we'd like to be addressed by the consultant. That's another way to go about it.
Then I have two questions about the electric vehicle policy. And I searched a lot about electric vehicle policy that you published it last year, right? And I want to know about whether you have manufacturing technology of EVs, and also if regarding to the EVs, I think charging infrastructure is very important. However, I don't know about how electricity generation is good or bad in Pakistan.
Okay. Two very important questions, actually. In terms of the technology, I think I can just sort of partially address what you've just said, but I'm sure the consultant will come up with more details. So in terms of the infrastructure available or the manufacturing capability within the country, that will be very, very, very minimal at this point in time. Because currently hybrid vehicles are being imported into the country. There's no manufacturing going on. So that's that. Regarding the electricity generation in the country, currently we have an excess capacity of electricity. However, there are issues related to the tariffs and the rate of electricity. It's extremely expensive. So there is within the power sector, there are certain issues which are quite large issues that the government intends to address, because we're stuck in a circular debt issue as well. There is inefficiency in the transmission system. So these are some things within the power sector. But coming to the EV policy itself, the EV policy is mostly focused on incentivizing or giving incentives to manufacturers to set up their facilities in the country through reduced rates of taxation. So it's basically the tariff policy which has been sort of which is included in the electric vehicle policy. But I'm sure the consultant will be able to give you more details on this.
Oh, thank you. I will ask this to the local consultant also. I have one more question about EV selling. I found some data that some enterprises are selling EVs such as BMW and Honda and Toyota. but I don't know whether they export to the Pakistan or manufacturing in the Pakistan.
As far as I know, there is no manufacturing of EV in Pakistan at this point in time.
Oh,
yeah.
Then every EVs are imported.
Imported. They are imported. At this point in time, they are imported. In fact, one of the tariff measures or the policy incentive that the government has given is to firms who would set up their manufacturing facilities, and there is a reduced rate of taxation for them. But initially, also on the import of EVs into Pakistan, there is a reduced rate of taxation.
Then only hybrid cars are manufactured in Pakistan, right?
Even hybrid भी नहीं है.
Hybrid, they're mostly it's assembly. So you have to bifurcate it between manufacturing and assembly. So even the traditional gasoline-fired engines, as well as the new models for hybrids, so we are mostly in the assembly and not manufacturing the engine parts per se. The deletion program, we are only producing some spare parts such as the plastics and metal sheet. However, the main engine block are being imported directly as CKD.
Thank you. I think my question is done.
Right. So, okay, thank you very much, Jeevan. I think we have all ladies from India in this meeting. So, ladies, thank you very much for joining in.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You.
Oh, sorry, but I have a quick question about our last meeting. In our last meeting in 2nd March, there was one person with Mr. Tahir. Can I know his name?
His name is, I'll just send you in the KSP WhatsApp group.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Right. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Have a nice
Have a
day.
great day.
Bye. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
어떻게 해야 되죠, 이거? 회의를 보고서 내기 전에 또 한 번 할 수는 없잖아요, 그죠? 원사님?
네.
이거 그러면 저기 보고서를 다음 주 금요일까지 내야 되죠?
맞습니다. 네.
네, 그러면 그 안에 회의를 따로 하거나 그러진 않고 그냥 서면으로 받아야 될까요?
네, 그 박사님께서 방법은 만약에 필요하시다면 회의를 한 번 더 주재하셔도 되고, 그러니까 주제에 따라서, 그러니까 중소기업연구원 파트에 뭔가 더 이제 스메타 쪽에 의견이 필요하시다 싶으시면 따로 이제 회의를 진행하셔도 저는 무방할 것 같고, 서면으로가 더 편하시다고 하시면 메일로 왔다 갔다 하셔도 괜찮고.
네, 지금 제 생각에는 중간보고 단계에서는 지금 있는 거에다가 추가 자료 요청해서 제가 커버는 할 수 있을 것 같아요. 중간보고까지는.
네.
그래서
사실
물론 코멘트나 지금 궁금한 게 있어서 내일은 내일쯤 보내면 될 것 같고요. 추가로 회의는 필요 없을 것 같아요. 근데 그러면 우리 저기 회의를 계속 2주에 한 번씩 하나요?
그렇게 약속을 하기는 했는데,
이렇게
사실 효율적으로 하는 게 좋을 것 같아서, 오늘은 사실은 사실 제가 그래서 항상 한 이틀 정도 전에 아젠다를 한두 개 정도 공유를 미리 하는 이유가, 네, 좀 회의를 효율적으로 하면 좋을 것 같아서였는데, 우선은 당분간은 중간 보고 전까지는 어쨌든
네.
저희가 2월, 3월 사이에 현지 컨설턴트랑 많은 것들을 주고 받았잖아요. 그래서
네.
그거 사실 이제 워크 프로세스를 좀 펄로잉 하고자 했던 건데 우선은 네, 중간 보고회까지는 이렇게 하는 걸로 짧게라도 하는 걸로 하고 혹시라도 이제 중소기업연구원 파트에서 뭐 이제 회의에 참석할 주제가 없다라고 판단이 되시면 저희한테 말씀해 주시면 감사드리겠습니다.
아니, 회의록 때문에 오늘 같은 경우는 회의록을 써야 되나요? 말아야 되나요?
그럼 오늘은 제가 간단하게 쓰는 걸로 할까요? 어차피 중기현에서도 많은 얘기가 나온 게 아니고 네, 큰 내용이 없으니까.
네, 저희가 그 회의록을 쓰는 이유가 이제 커트라에서 사실 원하셔가지고 저희가 쓰는 거거든요. 그래서 막 그런 거를 결과 보고서나 이런 거에 좀 남기기를 원하시더라고요. 그래서 네, 그래서 쓰는 거고요. 간단하게만 그러면 이제 오늘은 이제 소희연구원님 부탁을 드리는 것으로 하고
네.
천설빈 그 연구원님 그래서 소희연구원님이랑 소통하시면서 추후에 이제 뭐 좀 같이 이제 협력할 부분 있으면 네, 궁금한 점 있으면 언제든지 물어봐 주시면 될 것 같습니다. 그러면 저희 내에서 중간 보고서 초안을 네, 엄박사님께서 다음 언제까지 가능하다고 하셨었지?
그때 그 지금 뭐지? 에디팅을 한번 하신다고 하시지 않으셨어요?
에디팅.
그러니까 중간 보고 전에 한번 영어 검수인가 그거 하신다고
맞아요.
하셨죠?
네.
그게 언제예요?
일단은 오늘 받았잖아요. 컨설턴트로부터. 이제 중기현 부분은 중기현이 가져가셔서 이제 일단은 중기현 파트로 넣어주시고 저희도 저희 파트로 넣어놓고 있을게요. 그거를 일단은 근데 중기현에서는 그 뭐지 번역 작업도 필요하다고 말씀하셨었죠.
네, 그래서 그 저기 번역을 지금 맡길 수는 없고 이미 그 번역 비용이 다 잡혀 있잖아요. 그래서 사실 오늘 밤에 이항구 박사님 페이퍼를 받기로 했어요. 그래서 그거를 지금 번역을 시작을 해야 될 것 같아요. 근데 이제 저희가 그냥 자체적으로 일단은 영작을 할 수는 있는데 그거를 나중에 검수하실 때 같이 포함해서 해주실 건지 그거 좀 여쭤보려고. 번역을 처음부터 하면 너무 비용도 많이 들고 해서.
맞아요. 번역이랑 감수를 저도 이제 같은 기관에 이제 맡기는 게 좋을 거라고 생각을 했고, 제가 생각했던 타임라인은 우선은 이제 오늘 현재 컨설턴트한테 받은 거를 다 이제 각자 보고서에 넣고 나서 15일 오전에 이제 번역이나 감수를 맡기고 한 3, 4일 정도 시간을 드리고 나서 저희가 이제 18일이나 19일 오전에 번역 감수된 본을 받고 나서 좀 더 에디팅을 해서 19일에 제출하는 게 저의 타임라인이었거든요. 그래서 이제 그런 비용이나 이런 거 같은 경우는 저희도 이제 김재현 팀장님한테 다시 이제 여쭤봐야 되는 부분이긴 하지만 비용이 저희 쪽으로 잡혀 있는 거죠.
네, 그래서 이제 여쭤보는 거예요.
네, 그래서 어쨌든 이거를 그러니까 저희가 계속 커뮤니케이션 하고 있던 업체가 있어요. 번역 업체가. 그래서 거기에 한꺼번에 이 보고서를 맡기는 게 좋을 것 같아서 일단은 중소기업연구원 부분이랑 저희 부분이랑 취합을 이번 주 금요일까지나 이제 다음 주 월요일 오전까지 되면 좋을 것 같아요. 그렇죠. 그래서 월요일 오전이나 이른 오후 뭐 한 맥시멈 2시까지는 2시에는 이제 그쪽에 번역 센터에다가 맡기는 게 좋을 것 같습니다.
연구원님, 그러면 이항구 박사님 파트는 저희가 영작을 해서 드려요? 아니면 그냥 드려요?
어떤 게 좋으실까요?
사실, 그러니까 뭐, 제일 편한 건 사실 그냥 드리는 게 좋기는 하죠. 그러니까 지금 제 생각은, 거기서 온 거 보니까 중소기업 파트가 너무 없어서 그 중소기업 파트를 제가 갖고 있는 자료를 작성을 좀 더 해야 될 것 같고, 그리고 이항구 박사님 주시는 보고서로 뭔가 이렇게 좀 균형을 맞춰야 돼서 목요일하고 금요일날 작업을 좀 하면 좋을 것 같아요. 그래서 저희가 그냥 다 드려서 요청을 드리면 좋은데, 그게 이제 또 너무 부담스러우시면 저희가 초벌 번역을 해서 드리는 게 나을지.
제가 말씀드리시는 부분이 아니라서 우선 이 부분 제가 빠르게 김재현 팀장님한테 여쭤보고 다시
네.
바로 안내해 드리도록 하겠습니다. 혹시
네, 아마 이한구 박사님 파트가 20페이지 정도는 될 거기 때문에 네, 저희가 또 번역을 영작 잘못 해놨다가 나중에 또 일이 더 많아지실 수도 있으니까 어떻게 하면 좋을지 알려주시면 좋을 것 같고요. 지금 상태에서는 하고 보완하는데 한 하루 이틀 정도는 더 걸릴 것 같아요. 그래서 최대한 스매드한테 빨리 질문 던지는 게 더 중요해서 될 수 있으면 저희도 그냥 다 맡길 수 있으면 좋고요. 그게 이제 너무 부담스럽다 그러시면 저희가 이한구 박사님 파트 조금 영작을 하는 걸로 그렇게 했으면 좋겠어요.
네, 일단은 제가 여쭤보고 다시 말씀드리겠습니다. 일단은 이제 저희 안에서 생각해야 되는 거는 이번 주 금요일이나 다음 주 월요일 오전까지는 내용적인 부분은 다 취합을 하는 거고 그게 이제 뭐 번역을 맡기던 검수를 맡기던 그렇게 일단은 생각해 주시면 되겠습니다. 제가 바로 저희 KSP 단톡방에 김재현 팀장님한테 여쭤본 거 말씀을 바로 드리도록 할게요. 저희 KSP 방에 이제 그 천영권님 또 초대를 해주시면 좋을 것 같아요, 박사님. 이미 들어와 계신가요? KSP 분은?
아니요, 아직 초대 못 받.
사실은 오늘 계약일이에요. 오늘 저도 사실 전 연구원님을 못 만났어요. 근데 급하게 제가 요청해서 들어오신 거라서 아직 뭐 초대하고 이런 거는 못했고 제가 알기로는 제가 초대할 수는 없는 것 같던데요.
그러니까 단톡방이랑 왓츠앱에 초대를 하는 게 필요한데
네.
그러면
왓츠앱은 제가 안 되는 걸로 알고 있고요.
다 할 수 있어요. 그냥 링크만 공유하면 되는 건데 그러면은
네.
제가 할게요. 그냥 그 천룡권님 전화번호를 저한테 지금 알려주시면 제가 카톡 친추하고 왓츠앱에 초대드리도록 하겠습니다.
네, 저 010-6321 2846이고요. 전설인입니다.
전연구원님이시고요.
네.
네, 알겠습니다.
지원 연구원님 저희 중간 보고회 업무 분장도 오늘 하나요?
안 들리시나요?
안 들리시나요?
들었어요. 제가 결정 권한이 많이
네네네.
없어가지고 그러게요. 재은 팀장님한테 여쭤봐야 될 것 같아요.
네, 그러면은 저희 팀 내에서 얘기하고 제가 전 연구원님께 따로 연락을 드리는 걸로 하겠습니다.
네, 단톡방에 남겨주셔도 되고요.
네네네, 그렇게 드릴게요.
얼마 안 남았으니까 같이 해야 될 거. 단톡방에 빨리빨리 공유가 되면.
네, 알겠습니다.
네.
네, 감사합니다.
네,
고맙습니다.
고맙습니다.
나가셔도 좋습니다.